Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Meet the Liaisons, Kentucky. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. We've taken a screenshot of an example of the attendee interface. Next slide, please. You should see something that looks like this on your own computer desktop in the upper right corner. You're using your computer speaker system today by default, and if you would prefer to join over the phone, just select phone call in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions to today's presenters by typing your questions into the questions pane of your control panel. You may send in your written questions at any time during the presentation. We will collect these and address them during the Q&A session at the end of today's presentation. Next slide, please. I would now like to introduce our session moderator, Dan Lucarelli. Dan?
Thank you, Kat. For those of you that don't know me, I am Dan Lucarelli, and I am the Executive Director for Underground Safety Alliance. At the end of today's webinars, you will receive a survey today or tomorrow. We would appreciate you spending the time to complete the survey so we know how to make this virtual damage prevention conference better. We'll also share in an email in the coming weeks on where to find the recorded sessions from all of today's sessions. It's my pleasure to introduce the speakers for this session, Tim Vaughn and Dusty Sandler from Kentucky 811. Tim is the Director of Government Affairs and Education and Outreach for Kentucky 811 and leads the education and outreach team to promote safety and damage prevention across the state. He has over 40 years of experience in the construction and utility industries with an emphasis on natural gas and electric distribution. Tim is involved in efforts promoting utility damage prevention and construction safety issues and as a registered legislative agent in the state of Kentucky, and is active on a national level with the Common Ground Alliance, National Speakers Association, and National Association of Corrosion Engineers. Dusty Sandler is a new addition to the Kentucky 811 Education and Outreach team. A veteran of the Kentucky Army National Guard, Dusty served 2 tours of duty in Iraq. He comes to Kentucky 811 with 15 years of instructor experience from the National Guard, where he trained soldiers in marksmanship and mentored new instructors. Dusty also graduated in the top 5 in his class in recruiting and retention school and helped to recruit nearly 50 soldiers to the Kentucky National Guard. At Kentucky 811, Dusty helps promote safety across the state through damage prevention, training, and outreach. Please join me in welcoming Tim Vaughn and Dusty Sandler from Indiana 811.
Thanks, Dan. Welcome, everyone. I want to start off the presentation like we always do with all of our presentations, and that's reviewing the Kentucky 811 mission. Our board of directors established this mission a couple of years ago, and everything that we do in the training and education and outreach area, we want to make sure that it falls back underneath the guidance of this mission. So I'd like to read that to you. Lead Kentucky in promoting safety and preventing damage to underground facilities by providing excellent coordination and notification services at a reasonable cost. So from that, in the education and outreach area, we've come up with a vision, and it might seem a little pie in the sky, but it's what we strive for, and that's 0 damages to underground facilities. Will we ever make it? Probably not. Will we ever quit trying? Never. We're always going to try for it, and we can do that one day at a time. And that would be our challenge to you: is that you go for 1 day without damages. If you get that 1 day, then you go for the 2nd day, and who knows? You might end up with a week. Then you might end up with a year, and maybe we can reach that goal of 0 damages. So what you're seeing now is a map that shows the state of Kentucky and how we've broken down the regions that the liaisons will handle. Dusty, who will talk in just a few minutes, you can see from his area that he's going to be handling the western part of the state and a lot of the southern part of the state. And you'll see my name associated with 2 areas. That's because the lighter green area that you're seeing around the Lexington and eastern Kentucky part, that liaison has not been hired yet. We're actively pursuing that person. And I will retain the darker green area, which includes Louisville all the way down to Hardin County, and then up into northern Kentucky around the Cincinnati area. That band along the Ohio River I will retain that, and that will once we get that third person on, then this will be the split that we will take. I like to make note on Dusty's contact information that the area code of his phone number is incorrect. That is 270, not 279. If you're taking a picture or you're writing that number down, it shows up later in our presentation for his information, but that is, make note that that's a 270 area code. So Dusty, would you like to introduce yourself? I think you're muted, Dusty. You might want to click your mute. So while he's doing that, if you look at this slide, the appropriate phone number is listed here. If you're wanting to jot down information, the email addresses are correct, and the right phone number is listed here. Go ahead, Dusty.
Excellent. Thank you, Tim. Good morning, everybody. I want to thank you for visiting the virtual Midwest Damage Prevention Training Seminar. And also, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Tim and Dusty Show, I guess I like to call it. We're coming to you live from our living rooms here in the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. So we have a lot of great information that we're going to put out here for you. But first, I'd like to formally introduce myself. My name is Dusty Sadler, and as Tim said, I'm the newest member of the Kentucky 811 Outreach Program. Tim and I has given me the opportunity to serve as the Western Kentucky, the South Central, in Western Kentucky, the South Central part of the state. He's given me that area, and I am humbled and honored to be the safety liaison for that area. I'm a Kentucky native, born and bred. Bowling Green, Kentucky is where I hail from, so to speak. I attended Western Kentucky University. I spent 22 years in the Kentucky Army National Guard. As you heard in my introduction, just to expand on that a little bit, I was deployed to the in 2 times to Iraq, once for Operation Iraqi Freedom, where I was a convoy security gun truck commander. We had over 50 missions outside and outside the wire into the area of Baghdad area, as far south as you can go in Iraq, as far north. So, but during those missions, our key tactic was safety, and that is what I'm hoping to bring to that culture that I got from there, bring that to the 811 team, and already safety-minded individuals. Also, I was deployed in our Operation New Dawn, which was toward the end there. So we were basically helping get all the combat troops out of Iraq. Another thing, I'm a senior instructor for the Close Quarters Marksmanship program with Kentucky Army National Guard, where a little bit about what we do with them. We train people to go, soldiers and airmen that are deploying, we train them to basically come back home to their families. But safety is, like I said, safety is our tactic. And we use it as that's key in everything we do. We've trained well over 2,000 soldiers without any catastrophic accidents or any accidents, period. I don't believe we've ever had an injury on the range other than heat casualties. There's nothing really that you can do about the heat. And also with my recruiting and retention experience, what started out, I recruited in the Louisville metro area, Jefferson County area. Taught well over 30 high school programs, which included like career direction programs and how to pay, basically how to plan for your college, your higher education financing. Seminars, things of that nature. So with that being said, that's where my experience with the training and education comes in, and safe practices as well. So
Well, welcome, Dusty. What you're seeing is a breakdown of the counties.
Yeah.
We try to take that by region, and by no means is this the hardcore grid that you need to follow. You can reach out to any of us on the liaison team, and we will be able to accommodate any of your needs. Again, the bottom section of this, where it's the light green, that's my secondary area, which I'm actively pursuing a candidate for that. What you're seeing here is our outreach matrix. What we did, we took our audience of all the people that we try to reach in the state, and we broke them down into 3 categories. And the top category is the people that know what to do and they do it. We love those people. That's why the red heart is there. And what we're going to do is just continue to add support to them. We'll be there to help them with any issues they come up with. If they have training conferences or sessions or anything that we can do to support their efforts and to make 811 better for what they're trying to do, then we'll do that. The second area over to the right is the people that just don't know what to do. And that's one of our targets. You see the target with the arrow going into it. We're going to reach out to those people and educate them on 811, safe digging. It's the whole safety program that we'll deliver to them. That's our main target, and our main thrust of it is the people that don't know what to do. There's another section that you see the 2 grids of behavior and knowledge, the axis. There's just a group that they know what to do, they just don't do it. There's not a lot that we can do for that. We are not an enforcement agency. We don't have jurisdiction to do any type of enforcement, but that falls under the jurisdiction of law enforcement in the state, Public Service Commission, areas that have the ability to do the enforcement. We are still going to reach out to those group, that group, and make sure that they understand the importance of doing what we are training them to do, although it's more of a behavior function. So let's move on to the next slide. So what will we do? We want to lead the statewide effort to reduce the damages and to educate people on the 811 process. We're going to look at the industry best practices from the CGA. We're also going to review the statutory requirements of the Kentucky law and any type of local ordinances or anything that come into that. We will have the full gamut of information that we'll deliver through our presentations that touches all of those areas. And we want to reduce the damages by increasing the awareness of 811 to people who maybe don't do it every day, such as the homeowners associations. We're going to reach out to those folks. The homeowners might dig once a year or once every 5 years. Their digging is just as important as the contractor that digs every day. Matter of fact, might even be a little bit more important, because the trained excavator has been in meetings and they kind of know how to respond to emergencies and things. Some of the previous presentations that we've had today talking about response to emergencies and stuff. A homeowner has not been through those sessions, so we want to make sure that they don't get into that situation where they have an emergency. So we're going to really enforce that with them. And then the third piece is we're going to develop and manage relationships with the utility operators, the members and non-members, excavators, trade associations, government officials, anybody that will allow us to come in and do a presentation to them. We will certainly want to do that. So we break this down into a couple areas. A public awareness piece involves our radio and television programs that we have through the Kentucky Broadcasters Association. You might not know it, but you might have heard them, that we do over 70,000 radio spots annually that go out throughout the state. And that's in conjunction with a program that we have through the Kentucky Broadcasters Association. Recently, our board of directors decided to add television to that. And we have over 20,000 television spots that go out. Now, the challenge to these things is keeping them relevant and keeping them fresh. And we have the ability through some of our in-house mechanisms to create radio spots and television spots pretty rapidly. So if you've got any neat ideas, send them our way. We would love to turn your ideas into a radio spot or to a television spot. But these run on stations all throughout the state. Again, almost 100,000 times if you add all that together on an annual basis. So there's a lot of exposure that we get from that. Sports sponsorships. We're going to implement and manage these relationships. We've been with the University of Louisville in University of Kentucky. We've done things with them. Eastern Kentucky University. We're a long tenured sponsor of a lot of things at Western Kentucky University, meaning I guess 12 years we've been there, maybe 13 years now. I guess we're in the 13th year. What we do there is we sponsor the media backdrop, and it is a curtain that they carry around with them on home games, as well as it's in their studio that they have at their facility. But anytime the coach does a pregame, postgame, or a player interview, or signing of a player, someone goes pro, anything that happens in the sports world with Western Kentucky University, they do it in front of that media backdrop. And if you live in the area where you get news coverage from Western Kentucky sports, on the nightly news after a game, you'll see the coach doing his post-game interview in front of a banner that, interestingly enough, we co-branded with someone totally outside of this organization, which is the U.S. Bank. We brought damage prevention and banking together on one backdrop. It's pretty cool, but we do that. And then one of the bigger things that we do there is we sponsor Big Red Rascals, which is a children's program. And our theory behind all that is that if we focus on high school, college, and young folks, and we start getting them accustomed and acclimated to using 811 and knowing what 811 is, when they get out of school and they're starting to run businesses and they're running operations out in the field, maybe an excavator or whatever, they've already become totally familiar with 811, and it just becomes second nature to them. So that's our goal with the college stuff. There's another thing that we're doing that is not on the screen. That's an interesting thing is we're sponsoring range balls at driving ranges throughout the state. A member of our board of directors, Jennifer McCleve, has opened the door for us to be at all the state parks around Kentucky. So if you're a golfer and you go to any of the state park golf courses and you go to a driving range, you're going to see all these Kentucky 811 logoed golf balls, and they look like this. They're yellow with a color logo on them, and there's thousands of these at all the golf courses around. We've also got those in Georgetown and Lexington and in Louisville, Owensboro, Paducah, Franklin. They're all over the state. At any golf course that we can get those in with a driving range, we're putting those there. And what's cool about those is people hit them, they go gather them back up and put them in buckets or bags, and then they hit them again. And it just keeps going over and over and over for multiple years. The life of the range balls are 3 or 4 years. So the impressions that we get of the 811 logo from those range balls is incredible. Slide's not advancing here. Slide is stuck for some reason here. We'll go for the paper copy until we get that to move. Sorry about that, everybody. The next area is the training and education, and there's 3 areas of the training and education that we want to implement and manage these programs. The first one is contractor training. When we get to that slide, you'll be able to see that. The contractor training is multifaceted. We're developing a program through the Liaisons where we can come to your place and do something called a lunch and learn, where we'll bring pizza and drinks to your office and meet with your staff and do a presentation on the law on 811, the safety, the whole, whatever you request, whatever area that you want us to focus on, we'll come in and do that. And we can do that at your facility. We can also do those as a tailgate out on a job site. If you've got a large project that you're doing and you have a crew that's there and you'd like 10-minute safety talk on the job site, we'd love to do that. In addition to that, we're going to coordinate and plan and have post-COVID, hopefully, meetings at areas where we'll invite people from the area to come to that meeting. It'll be more of a formal sit-down type training session. And until we get post-COVID, we're going to do those virtually. It'll be a similar to this, where hopefully our slides will work at our virtual thing. But So we're going to do it. So we'll do the contractor training is the kind of the heartthrob of what we're doing, is trying to get in front of the people who are actually breaking the ground and tilling the soil, the excavating community. Another thing that we'll do is trade shows. We've have been, just because of lack of resources in the past, unable to participate in a lot of the industry shows and trade shows that we feel like brings us in contact with our target audience. We will evaluate all the options for those and be at as many of those as we possibly can, whether it's with a tabletop display or maybe doing a demo or however we can do that, maybe even being a speaker at some of those things. So the trade shows is another key portion of our outreach in the training and education. Another area is establish our relationships, and we feel like this is actually paramount in everything that we do. As we go in and do the contractor training, as we go in and do any of the outreach programs that we do, the main thing that we want to do is establish a relationship. And there's another slide that just can't seem to get to, guys. I apologize about the technical problems here. It's just not working.
Hang on 1 second, Tim. Let me see if I can work that out for you, okay?
Okay. You can get us to the establish and strengthen relationship slide. That's what we'd like to be.
Just a caveat for what Tim said with the, we'll do whatever you want to do. We're Semper Gumby. We're always flexible. So.
I'll talk a little bit while we're filling in the gap here. So building relationships is an important aspect of what we're trying to do. At the end of the day, what we would like is for everyone to know us as Tim and Dusty, and whoever our third person is going to end up being, know us by name. We want to spend time building relationships with folks so that we can assist in any way that we can help keep going. We're looking for one called establish and strengthen relationship. There it is. So our board of directors has established some criteria for us to meet, and we've got a strategy in place to do that. And one of the things is we're going to contact all the member companies by the end of next year. That's a little bit of a challenge right now with COVID being there, because people are working from home, working from various different places. They're not in their offices. It's even their phones are going to voicemail, and they're using their cell phones at home. So it's a little bit of a challenge to do that. But when we reach out to these members, we're lending our assistance in any way we can, and introducing ourselves and leaving our contact information back, and trying to just get involved with your business and be a part of your damage prevention toolbox. Also, by contacting our members, we're going to find out who you have to contact when you dig in your area yourself. Who are the non-members? We don't have a good list of who the non-member utilities are of Kentucky 811. We know who the members are, but we don't know who to contact when we're reaching out to the non-members. So we'll gain that from our members, because you certainly can tell us who else you have to call in addition to 811. The contract locators, that's where our lunch and learn programs are going to become key. Is we want to reach out to all the locators on a regular basis, whether that be monthly or weekly, or however we can get involved with what they do, just to do a continuous education program to them and be available so they know who we are, so that when they encounter problems or there's something that comes up that we can be assistance, we're a speed dial away from them. Government officials, we've been in the past pretty active at the state level with the state senate and with the House representatives at the state level with that area. Where we've been a little bit stretched out from resource-wise is reaching out to the mayors and to the city administrators and to the council members at the local areas. So one of our goals is to build those relationships. Like what's the old saying, is have a car in every garage. We like to have a business card on every mayor's desk of who the person is in their area that they can reach out to if anything comes up that involves 811 or utility damage, or there's a major problem that occurs or a hit or something, and they want to talk to someone about process procedures and how it should happen. We want to make sure that we're the ones that they reach out to. So we're going to work diligently in becoming involved with the city councils, the city administrators, and those teams. The contractors, excavators, I spent a lot of time talking about that, but we just want to have a relationship with them and with their trade associations, the AGC, the Kentucky Association of Mechanical Contractors, all the groups that are the associations where the excavators hang out. And not just the larger ones that are members of those associations, but we want to build relationships with the individual mom and pop companies. We're working now on developing a list of those folks. There's a lot of them. I'll tell you the list that we were able to obtain is over 25,000 of those type of excavators. So that's somewhat of a challenge just managing that list, but that's one of our major goals is to do that, and then to be active in all the trade associations that are going on around the state. When those things start, when COVID lifts and those associations can start having their annual meetings and their association meetings, we will be involved with those physically. We want to be involved with their virtual meetings now, just to be there, not to be star of the show, but just to be there as a resource that they can reach out to when they have questions about anything that we do. So building relationships and strengthening those relationships is very key to what we're doing. Next slide, please. And it shows how you can be involved in things. Do I have control, or someone else got it? There we go. We have regional damage prevention councils all around the state of Kentucky. You can get access to information on those from our website, and I encourage you to go to our website for more than just this. There's all kinds of tools and great information that you can gain on Kentucky811.org. But there's also a section called damage prevention councils, and you can see where they're located. They are geographically laid out in a strategic manner so that everyone has access within hopefully an hour or so drive is our goal to attend these meetings. And these are great because there's an educational topic that'll be covered at all these meetings, as well as the opportunity for you to interact with the other utility officials and engineers and folks that you work shoulder to shoulder with and share the same community. But another good tool about that is these are good to use as a pre-construction meeting. For instance, if the water company in a particular region is getting ready to do a main replacement project, how great is it that you can meet with the guys from the gas department and the locators, the contract locators that are working for maybe the telecom company or something, and you can trade business cards, or you can trade prints, you can give people heads up about, hey, I got this project coming, or the transportation cabinet's very active in these meetings in a lot of the regions, and they can say, we're going to widen this road at this particular intersection. All that kind of stuff is shared through these damage prevention councils, which is a great use of your time just for that, if you're involved with any of that side of it. So again, you get more information on these from our website, Kentucky811.org. There's an email on our website for the leadership of each one of those meetings, and you can email them and ask them questions of how you can get involved with what they're doing. Our liaison team will be at all of these meetings, and we will be giving a presentation and an update on activities and things that's going on at Kentucky 811 at each one of those meetings, as well as when the Exactix program, the software program, is rolled out in the first of the year. We'll be providing information through the damage prevention councils on that. So that's a good enough reason to go to those just for that. This slide you're looking at now is a breakdown of our area with our phone numbers. Please note Dusty's area code is 270, not 279. So if you want to take a picture of that, or however you want to store that, that's how you get in touch with us. Either one of us can help you in any region of the state. We'd love to be a part of what you're doing. We consider ourselves to be a tool that you can use in any way that we can help. Dusty, would you like to inject a little bit here?
Yeah, just like Tim said, we're here for you. Whatever you need, we'll as far as 811 goes, and as far as education and outreach, we'll facilitate that, and we'll get it to you. We'll find out a way, or maybe even a better way. So let's everybody be flexible with me. I'm new to the game, but if I don't know the answer, I'll find it out for you.
Good deal. I'd like to let everybody know that we have a new excavator handbook that has been just recently published. Just got them a week ago. And if you would like some of those, please send me or Dusty an email, and we will mail those out to you, get them to you. It replaces one that was about 12 years old. This one's a smaller version. It's a shirt pocket version. It's up to date, and we'd love to get those into your hands. So those are free of charge. Just all you gotta do is email us and request those, and we'll make sure that you get those in the next few days.
Please do that. So we can get them out of my house.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us and tolerating us through our technical issues here. We rehearsed and practiced, and it always happens that way. So thank you for your patience.
I think it was a pretty good show.
So we look forward to meeting you guys. We like to have fun at what we do. We love our jobs. Dusty, one of the reasons why he was brought on is he loves safety. He loves talking to people. He loves being out there helping people. And at the end of the day, we want to be a safer Kentucky. And that's what our goal is. That's what our vision is, that you dig on your job sites as safe as possible. And there's a statistic that the Common Ground Alliance touts a lot that says that if you use the 811 system and you follow the best practices and everything that's published through that you have less than a 1% chance of coming in contact with a utility line at your excavation site. Boy, that's good odds. I like those in my favor. I wish I had that type of odds in everything. Less than 1% chance of coming in contact with a utility facility if you follow 811 procedures. So we encourage you to reach out to us. Again, those excavator handbooks are there, and visit our website for those damage prevention councils. And if anybody's got any questions, we'd love to answer them.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tim and Dusty. Now we're going to begin answering the questions submitted during today's presentation. As a reminder, you can still submit questions through the question pane in your attendee control panel. It looks like we do not have any questions yet, so we will stay on the line in case anyone does.
Again,
you explained everything perfectly.
Yeah, while we're waiting, if anybody has any questions, this is a new endeavor for us, the Liaisons in Kentucky. Kentucky 811 was established in 1986, and we've always had a person that did outreach. We were always able to maybe just do like the A-list stuff. We never had the resources to get down into the B and C level of things. And, that's typically, if you are part of Commander Lippold's presentation earlier, if you listen to that, safety is not anything that you want to put on a priority list and put them in an A, B, and C category, because inevitably the B and the C's is where your problems will be. So what we're going to do through our approach to everything is an A, and we're going to try to do everything that we possibly can do and give it all our 100% attention. So if you've got an event that you'd like for us to be a part of, we'd love to be a part of it. We'd love any way we can help in any way. Please just reach out to us. And our contact information will be out on the website. My information is already on the website, and we'll get Dusty's out there too. So if you didn't capture it from the presentation today, you can certainly get it off of our website. Or it's an easy number to remember. Just call 811 and say, hey, we want to talk to those liaison guys, and they'll hook you up.
Great, and it looks like our first question actually came in. This is from Jason. He says, if a person is calling in a locate in the middle of a field, can a person use plus codes on Google Maps for calling in a locate to pinpoint the exact area?
Now that is a technical question for our operations area, and I don't know if any of those folks are on. Especially with our software transition that we're getting ready to undertake, I'm going to yield to that one and say that that's probably a question that needs to be asked to our operations folks, because I do know that the answer to that is we'll take any information you can give us that will help the locator find that address or the spot that you're digging. I also want to, that brings up a good point too, and maybe this will partly answer that if it's possible. Kentucky is not a state that requires mandatory white lining. White lining is marking your proposed job site so that when the locator shows up, they know exactly where you're digging. If there's a way, and even in the middle of a field, if there's a way that you can pinpoint exactly where you're needing the locating done, white lining is a fantastic way to do that. It is actually an industry best practice through the Common Ground Alliance. But white lining is something that we encourage everyone to use, but it's not mandatory in Kentucky, and I wish it was. So sorry, I don't know the exact answer to that. Under our current transition period of software, I'm pretty sure that the new software will allow you to do that. Now, I think it's something that goes in the remarks columns. I'm not sure that it is a geographic piece that, I'm not sure I'm answering your question right. Sorry about that. Any other questions?
We are still waiting on a few questions, so just a reminder, you can still submit your questions through the question pane in the attendee control panel.
So when if you do that if you put that locate request in online, the one that the question that we just had, you can draw on the map. When you're inputting that online, the screen comes up with the map. You can draw a polygon on the map of where you need to locate to be. And our system will take that and it'll be able to determine, it'll be able to show the locators where you're wanting to dig.
And just like Tim was saying, online, you don't have to wait on an operator. And we're improving our systems. Online's the way to go if you have the opportunity to do it, and because you put in the information, you do it on your own time.
That's going to be the second thing that we talk about at all of our sessions. The first one is our mission statement, and second one is if you're not doing online locate request, you need to start doing it now, and we'll help. We'll cancel the rest of the presentation and show you how to do that if you need to know how to do that. It's that critical. I know me personally, I was a little reluctant to do banking and everything online. We do everything online now, so we just encourage everybody to do your locate request online.
Yeah, if you're sitting home watching football, grab your laptop, boom, 48 hours out.
And let's say this, I know several people on this call, if you've done 811 now in the past and you've tried that and you didn't particularly like the ease of use with that, our new software is going to be so much user-friendly and easier. And we're just a few months away from that being out there. So if you've given up on online entry because you weren't comfortable with the previous program, give us another look. When we get the new software launched, the Exactix program, and I think there's another session on that later today. You can get more information on Exactix. When that comes out, please give us another try. I think you'll like what you're seeing. It's very streamlined, very user-friendly.
And it looks like we do have another question. This question is from Greg. He's asking, what is the difference between 811 Now and web entry?
Good question. 811 Now is the single address entry locate request that's done online. Meaning, if you're a homeowner and you're just doing just one project, that's a good tool for you to use. It is a single address, single project, online ticket entry. Web ticket entry is someone who for maybe what we call a power user, a contractor that does a lot of excavating work and is continually inputting locate requests online. We set you up where you're basically an agent for us with your own password and login credentials, and you go in and you input your own locate request. That's geared for someone who does multiple locate requests at a higher frequency of usage, other than just a one-time single address homeowner project. That's a great question, though. Yes, that's the difference between the two. They're branded the same as 811 Now, but the one program is just for the single the web ticket entry is for multi-use. Yeah, good question, Greg. Any other questions? Well, I'll tell you what, if you come up with a question and you didn't feel comfortable answering it today, please reach out to send an email to me or Dusty. If we don't know the answer, we'll certainly get it to the right people to get that question answered for you. And again, if you want excavator handbooks, please send us an email for that. My email is tvaughn, VAUGHN at USA811.org, and Dusty is dsadler, SADLER at USA811.org, and we'll make sure that you get all that you need. We also, in addition to the excavator handbooks, have color code cards, some informational brochures, bunch of other things that we can get. There's our information is back on the screen again. Email us, and if you need any of the other brochures or any other handout things, we can get all that to you with the logos on them. If you can
We also may have a little bit of swag, like some koozies or something like that. Who knows?
The nice banner behind Dusty, we have several of those. If you have a place that you'd like to place a banner at your facility, or some place that there's a good fence that will fit, we have those in 2 foot by 4 foot version and a 3 foot by 5 foot. The shorter ones are better for a chain link fence. The big ones kind of drape at the bottom, but we'll send those to you free of charge if you've got a place that you'd like to put those. We just ask that you would take a picture of it and send it to us once you put that out in the field, so that we can use it on our social media. And that leads to another point. If you haven't been following us on social media, please go out and track us on social media and become a part of our social media outreach platform.
Great. Thank you so much, Tim and Dusty. It looks like we are about out of time. If anyone has any other questions, please feel free to visit the contact page on our conference website. Thanks again for joining us today, and we hope to see you in another session soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.